Gonna prep this to start. We got two 150 amp circuit breakers. One's a starter alternator, and the next one is the fuse and relay panel, which is the main power unit for the car. All right. Just gonna check over everything. All right, so I have a freshly rebuilt S13 blacktop SR20 DET. These are stock pistons, all new rings and gaskets, brand new oil pump, brand new water pump. We have a Silk Road Manny PBM high mount intercooler, GK Tech upgraded fan, coil rad, ISR intake, chase base water overflow, stock injectors, stock ECU, and a wiring specialties harness, stock T25, and some other upgraded things, as well as some grounding. So the entire car is powered off of a single fuse and relay panel that is underneath the dash on the passenger side. All the wiring in the car is new. There's no OEM wiring left. We have a Keys Racing 330D dish steering wheel, 3 AEM gauges for oil pressure, water temp, and AFR, glow shift tachometer. Our fan circuit and panel is right here, running a Bride Zeta 3 on Bride rails. We have a fire extinguisher for safety, autometer boost gauge, as well as our switches, which you can see right there, Equus fuel gauge, and our two circuit breakers controlling the fuse panel, ECU, and the alternator and the starter. That's about it for the interior. It's very simple, very basic. And now I guess we could start her up, go on the test drive. So after an entire year, the rebuild's done, first brake and drive is done, and we just have some small things that we have to tune up on the car. I've had this issue before. It's bucking when the car's turning. If you watch my other drive videos, which I have a playlist for, you'll see that that's an issue because of the welded diff. Coolant feed line for the turbo. The washer has the smallest, like a pinhole little like air pocket. So the pressure is kind of like forcing tiny little bubbles out. When the car cools down, we're probably gonna take off this intercooler pipe and go in there and probably tighten it up, figure that out. I'm very sick right now, very sick, so sorry if I sound weird. This coolant line or coolant hose, this is leaking at both ends, so we need to go through and tighten that up. That's not a big deal, that's very easy to do. I'm gonna get a bung welded in, so instead of this ratchet filter, we can actually run a proper hose to the intake the way it's supposed to be. I think we were staying at like 170, which is really good. If you don't know my setup, I'm running a GK Tech fan with dual electric fans, so that's 3 fans. So cooling, not an issue whatsoever. I think it used to get up to like 190 something, but now you can see this is a coil rad, dual electric fans with a GK Tech upgraded clutch fan. So we are flowing tons of air. I know overheating is a problem on SRs, but we do not have to worry about that. You could probably see in the video, the steering wheel is slightly off. I do need to realign the car. My preferred alignment settings are on the screen right now. They should be, like, I don't know, somewhere. But those are the alignment settings we're gonna do. The steering wheel felt really nice driving. The seat felt super good driving. It was weird. I haven't driven stick in a year, but I did not struggle. It was very easy because I'd spent so much time in my sim. I was literally driving it like yesterday, I was driving it yesterday. So yeah, I felt very comfortable driving the car. Nothing felt out of place and weird. Everything's in reach. The gauges, my tach's not working. The reason the tach's not working, I just have to go in. That's why I left that little cover off. I'll just have to go in and make sure that the 2 metal things are touching. That way I can get a proper reading because it needs to like ground itself out basically. Those small things, I'm gonna fix that before I start the car up again. And then also we have to order more oil and then drain the oil that's in there now because there's gonna be tiny little metal shavings from the bearings being brand new. That oil is going to get drained out. The new oil is going to go in, and then we're going to start the car up and go on a second brake and drive, which is going to be, you know, going through all the gears, probably trying to hit 5th gear on the street and all that good stuff. Alignment and stuff, I don't know when I'm going to do it. I'll have to figure that out. All the small things I want to get finished and tightened up before I go on the second drive. I just had a giant fuel leak, and I have no idea how or why. It's gonna keep leaking. Well, engine started, so that's cool. One, there's an oil leak. The other issue, you guys saw it starting up. I had some trouble starting up initially. I really do need to look into that. It wasn't cooling back down. Now, I had an issue like that before, and what it ended up being was air in the actual cooling system, like an air bubble, probably in the water pump or somewhere around the thermostat, there's like an air bubble. I don't know, man. So the reason the car was stalling, the two big issues, CAS and the timing chain. Now, if you're watching my rebuild series, I did install everything correctly, but where everything went wrong was when I did my oil pump. So the oil pump wasn't priming, and I accidentally left my big ratchet on the crank pulley, and I cranked the car, and the ratchet caught on the frame rail, and that caused the timing chain to jump a tooth. And so I had to fix that by taking off a gear sprocket and actually retiming the engine, it was really easy. It's really easy to do. I did that, and that fixed the timing chain issue. And then my CAS, I installed it correctly, but what I didn't realize, somehow, even though I had the dots lined up, when I pushed it in, it was just going a little bit too far. When I had the valve cover off to do the timing chain, I was watching the CAS and it was going too far, even though I lined it up correctly. So I had to kind of adjust it after I put it in. But yeah, those were the two big things that caused the car to keep stalling. And I just had so many small little issues, and even those big issues were small issues. Hopefully I don't have to do this again for another 5 years or 10 years or something crazy. It's been a year. I want to thank you guys for being so patient with the rebuild. Thank you for still watching my videos, even though the car hasn't been driving in like over a year, and we're finally back to it. So I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's go.